Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. You're in Entrepreneurial Planning, Unit 2, and we've been discussing about the components of business plan. So, in your previous class, we have been discussing about the various components of the business plan. We discussed about the organization plan, we discussed about the operation plan, we discussed about the financial plan, right? And what if you have the best of the technology, you have the best of the organization plan, and you have sufficient money, you have the best factory, you have all the infrastructure required to start the business, and you do not have the right people to run your organization to achieve the organization goal, right? So, people working in a firm make it what it is, said Hicks and Gullet, right? Now, human resource plan or manpower planning is very important for any organization. So it is very essential for any business. See, with constantly changing business requirements, technology, advancements, the skill and knowledge of employees tend to become obsolete over the period of time. So these people who are already there in the organization need to be given proper training. So what are the strategies you have for training? What are the rules and regulations and policies you have to recruit people, to train people? Okay, so all that you're going to discuss in the manpower. So manpower planning is the process of estimating the optimum number of people required for completing or to achieve the organization goal. So human resource is the paramount importance of success for any organization. Right. So every organization comes into existence when a number of persons they join hands to achieve the organization goals set by the entrepreneur. So if you do not have the right type of person, you will not be a success in business. Your organization will fail. So you have to select the right number of people at the right number of at the right time. So your quantity and quality is very, very important. So organizations performance and resulting productivity is directly proportional to your quantity and quality of your manpower. So quality and quantity both are very important for your manpower business. Then entrepreneur he should pay adequate attention to properly plan an organization. So he should make sure he builds an organization with a set of loyal people who are very efficient, qualified, and dedicated to achieve the organization goal. Okay. Now you must have started your business as a sole proprietorship. Maybe over the period you would have developed into an MNC. So your manpower planning or human resource planning is not a one-time plan. So it is a planning which has to be recurring. Okay, every year you have to revise your manpower planning or human resource planning according to the new projects that are coming in. So if business is growing, the workforce also will be expanding. So normally this is done. Manpower planning is done, keeping in mind the view of the goals of the organization. So it includes how and when new people are required. How are they going to be required? How many are going to be appointed? So these employees who are going to be recruited, they have to be very loyal, efficient, qualified, and dedicated. Then entrepreneurs should ensure the following while planning the process: right number of people, right kind of people with appropriate skills, at the right place and right time to do the work. Fine. So number. What do you mean by number? Neither it should be more nor it should be less. If it is more, what will happen if it is more? You will have excess people. When you have excess people, obviously your cost will increase, isn't it? So you should make sure they are properly balanced. Neither it should be more nor it should be less. If it is less, then existing people will be overburdened. When they are going to be overburdened, what will happen? Your quality will suffer. So your quality and quantity are very, very important. So both will define the type of organization, will define the success of your organization. Fine. So the right number, right kind. Kind means what? They should have the proper skill, qualification, and all that they require for that particular type of a job. The right place and at the right time. So when you should anticipate your future projects. Okay, and you should anticipate, okay, this many people will retire, this many people will not continue in the job. Now people who are working in the organization, they always look for progress. If your organization is not taking care of the progress, obviously people will leave from your company. And you should take care of the needs of the company, or of the people who are already there in your organization. So at the right time, so at the right place and at the right time to do your work, right? Now, manpower planning thus keeps into mind three important factors. They are: what kind of people are required, how many people are required, and how will they be selected. Fine. So let us go to the first question. What kind of people are required? Now, what kind of people are required? That depends upon the business activity, the type of organization you are carrying. Maybe you are a civil engineering contractor, or maybe you are having a leather factory, or maybe you are a beverages factory, you are having a beverages factory, or maybe it is a chemical factory that you are having. So it depends. It depends upon the type of the kind of business that you are running. Each person should have different position, duty, responsibility with appropriate qualification. So depending upon the type of people you require, managers, you may require 10 managers. What type of supervisors require? How many you require? What kind of administrators, engineers, technologists, skilled, unskilled workers, maybe laborers or auditors, accountants, managers. So you might be requiring different type of people. What kind of people you require depends upon the nature of business. Okay. And you may, if they're recruited, you should make sure they have the appropriate skill and knowledge, experience, and aptitude for the work to work. Right. How many people are required? This is the second question. It's a very important thing that you should decide on. How many people are required for your organization? So this question deals with the quantity of people or person in the enterprise. So the total work to be done. So like you have to first of all calculate what type of work you have to do. Now the number of people required will be equally proportionate to the total work you have in your organization, right? If you have more work, definitely you need workforce according to that. If you have less work, if your factory is very small, if your it is sufficient if you have 50 people, fine. If you have only one plant and you need only two mechanical engineers, two machinists, two skilled laborers, and two unskilled laborers, and whatever, that depends upon the type of your business. So the total work to be done. How much work can an average person do in a specified period of time? So work hours. So you should calculate, okay, within this many hours, how many like for example, if your company is making breaks, how many breaks he can make in this 1 hour. Okay. Then for example, you have a quality controller. How many products can he check? How many units of that break can he check? So likewise, how much work can an average person do in a specified period of time? Level of absenteeism expected. So approximately, if this many people are absent, how will you give substitution? You have to substitute the work. You cannot stagnate your work, right? You cannot hold the work. Okay, when the person comes back, then I will continue with the flow. When somebody is not, how are you going to replace? So you cannot have the exact number. You should have one or two people extra, right? So how many people are required is very, very important. Rate of labor turnover. So how to calculate labor turnover? That is nothing but number of people who left during the organization, number of people or number of person who have left during the period into 100 divided by average number of employees during the period. Average number of employees during the period. Right. Now the present number of employees. Future plan for expansion and diversity. So how many people are required? All that depends upon your future product. Okay, and you should make sure with the type of work you have, and the type of people you require. How much work you have? How much work you have in your factory? Depending upon that, you should recruit people. Right. Now, how are these people going to be recruited? So you should have a clear strategy how to procure personnel. You should have a clear strategy, methods, policies, rules, and regulations pertaining to this person. So, as a next step in manpower planning, entrepreneur clearly mentions the strategies, methods, policies, rules, and regulations pertaining to the person. How is the recruitment process going to be? How are you going to recruit the people? Obviously, you might be advertising or through agencies or walk-in interviews, or how are you maybe through the media you're going to advertise. Then how are you? What is the selection process? If a person is selected, like their age group, what are the skills that he'll be requiring? So all that, the method, how are you going to select them? How many interviews you're going to have? Maybe first round, second round, third round. What are the questions you'll be asking them, etc., etc. Then once they're selected, what is your training program? So already there will be people in your organization. For them, you will be giving in-house training, right? Now, what about people who are going to be recruited? Because there might be people coming in and going out, right? So how are you going to retain the people who are there in the organization? People who are there in the organization working with you for years, they are pillars of your organization, right? So you should make sure how they are retained. So as I said, the skills and knowledge of the people, they tend to become obsolete over the period. So when they become obsolete, you have to train them. So people who are working in the organization already they would have got trained. Okay, they might be very skilled. So maybe they require a bit of motivation. So for them, what type of training are you going to give? So skilled laborers, unskilled laborers. And so even managers. So they need some motivation, promotion. So all that will be decided. So you before you start a business, you should definitely plan your manpower planning. So it is one of the most important planning, one of the most important components in your business plan. So procurement of right person at the right job at the right time is the objective of human resource plan. Right. So manpower planning, your company strategy. What staff do we need to do the job? What staff is available within our organization? Right. Now there are some people available in the organization. How are you going to? What is the performance appraisal you have? The company data bank. Okay. Then what about training you're going to give them? Employee management and development. Then what staff do we need to do the job? Is there a match? Okay, is there a match? If not, what type of people do we need and how much we should recruit? What is the impact on wage and salary program? So job analysis. Fine. You should analyze the type of job, what type of people you need, what is the type of job they're going to do, what is the type of job they're going to do. So I hope you understood, children. Next in the next class, we'll be discussing about the marketing plan. I think that is the last plan that we'll be discussing in our business plan, right? So see you in the next class, children.